Kapa, good morning.
Sabona Sibongile.
Sibongile ehlelweni kuKwekwezi FM.
Thank you very much. It's good to be with you.
How would you describe your visit to Mamelodi? In what extent would you say it was a success?
It was a great success. We were very warmly welcomed by many people there. I could encourage everybody to register. I walked around the streets, which were in a terrible condition. Much of the streets were potholes. There was a little bit of street and mainly potholes and dongas. In fact, I fell over 3 or 4 times in those potholes. But the people have a vision for a better future, a future with services, and the people are realizing more and more that they have the power in their hands to make a change, and their vote is their power, and they must register if they want to vote to exercise that power. So it was a very good visit, and I felt warmly welcomed.
Still talking about the potholes, how much impact and inroads do you think DA is making in black townships other than the Western Cape?
Well, it's very important for people more and more to make a free choice in politics. Politicians should be frightened of the voters. We should all know that the voters have the power. And politicians should never threaten or frighten or intimidate the voters, because in the end, the voters decide. So our job is to serve the voters, to work as hard as we can for them, to work day and night to try and make a better life for all, and that is what the DA is trying to do. So the choice for South Africa is not a competition between different race groups. It's a choice between policies that are either going to make life better or worse. And we believe the DA's policies will bring the better life for all.
Do you think South Africa will ever leave behind the politics of racial loyalty and classifications when it comes to voting?
I can understand the power of racial solidarity and identification. I really can, especially coming from the tragic background that we come from, the background of apartheid. So I understand it very deeply. But we have to be able to overcome this belief that a political choice is a choice between races. It is actually a choice between policies. And the argument is not, should a black child get this education and should a white child get that education? The question is, how can we bring an excellent education to all our children, and which policies will ensure that?
While in Mamelodi, you also commented on the ANC president's reported comments about voting for the opposition. What's your interpretation of his comments?
Well, what the president said was that if you want to go to heaven, you have to vote for the ANC. Now, that is an abuse of God for a political purpose. And we have all been raised never, ever to abuse God's name for our own narrow purposes. So I thought it was very wrong for the president to say that, and I said so.
But in our African languages, it is nothing more than being figurative. Is it not a matter of mixing belief and reality?
Well, figures of speech always reflect some kind of reality. So if you say that voting for an opposition party is like going to the devil, and voting for the ANC is like going to heaven, even in a figure of speech, you can't abuse God and you can't abuse religion for your own purposes. So while we all understand figures of speech, all languages have metaphors and figures of speech, we still can't abuse religion and God for our own narrow interests.
Okay, sometime last year we spoke with you on the matter of Leslie community in Mpumalanga, whom you visited after unrest there. Have you heard from them lately?
Yes, I went, well, I haven't been there since Leandra. I was in Mkondo, I was in Mpumalanga last weekend, and I addressed a very big rally there, so that was a very important occasion. We keep in contact. We have branches everywhere in the country, and as I say, I was in a place called Mkondo, that's not too far from Pretoria in Mpumalanga just last weekend.
What do you promise the people of Mpumalanga, SCA?
Well, what I say is our policies lead step by step to the better life for all. I don't make particular promises to individuals. I say we establish a policy environment where the state plays its role and does what it is supposed to do, so that individuals can use their freedom and add their responsibility to improve their lives. It's a partnership. And as you're seeing in the Western Cape, where the DA governs, and in Cape Town, where the DA governs, life is improving for all the people. And that is because the DA is in power here.
Mhlonishwa, sithokoza ukukhuluma nathi ehlelweni ezikulumbethe ekuseni nje lapha ku-Gwekwezi FM. Thanks for your time.
It's such a pleasure, Sibongile. Have a nice day.
The same to you. Thank you.